So Patrick, you've been part of this ecosystem. You've been part of the Tech Tour Europe Unlimited world for many, many years. How did you come across these guys? What was it like back then?
Rick, I met Europe Unlimited, I think was at a Benelux Venture Forum in 2001. I
Mhm.
just co-founded Nuyen, like half a year before that or something. And um, and I got an invitation, I think by email, for a pitching event between startups on one end and entrepreneurs at the entrepreneurs on one end and investors at the other end. And I went there. I was like young and innocent, and what did I know? I'm still innocent, not young anymore. But and actually, we saw a very. There were so many different small companies and things, and I think William just started with the whole thing with his starting up the ecosystem and stuff. And I mean, there were like, as I recall, like maybe 30 people, and outside of Brussels, not in the city center, somewhere. And it was fun. It was in a way, Europe Unlimited and later on Tech Tour was instrumental for me at least,
Mhm.
uh, to meet other VCs out there, right? Like as a you just start your firm. What do you know? And then you see all the big players out there. And remember, 2001, we invested in B2B software companies for whatever, like 20 plus years. And in those days, the internet bubble just collapsed. It just burst.
Mhm.
So the market was different. And I just started. Everything was on fire in those days, and and then you meet other investors and you chat about what they're going through, and again, like I was 36 or something, like very
Mhm.
inexperienced, young in many aspects of life as well. So yeah, I think Tech Tour, Europe Unlimited, and Nuyen grew together, I would say, and I like William and the team was super important.
Mhm.
The founders, his co-founders in the early days, and then later on, when there was a buyout, and we participated in that as a friendly GP, not a fund, but GP, the fund manager,
Mhm.
helped William because William was a great guy, and we saw a lot of opportunity there to help him out. And so I joined Tech Tour Europe Unlimited, I think in 2007 or something, as a
Mhm.
board member, six, maybe
Mhm.
2007, something like that. And yeah, great journey, fun as
Patrick,
well.
in Europe today, there's lots of different companies and groups that arrange get-togethers and pitching competitions and so forth. And again, after 25 years, Tech Tour Europe Unlimited is still here. What do you think they bring to the table that might be unique from some of those others?
Yeah, I mean, I think the intimacy is there. And like
Hmm.
you have the web summits and slush and the big events,
Hmm.
but they're just, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 days. And what I really like with Tech Tour, it's I think they organize something like 25 events or something across the year. So there's a cadence.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's important. Um, they also correct, excusez my French, as they say, right? So they're less hypey. They're not hype.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
it's not a rock stadium full with
Hmm.
light and music and sound and what have you. And where entrepreneurs is on stage and pitching, so it's more to the core. And that's something I always liked, and also maybe one of the reasons why we invested in the first place. Like with these entrepreneurs, William and his team pre-engage before the event itself,
Hmm.
and you have a complete overview as an investor. You have a complete overview of these companies with their business model and their revenue and the market they are after and the team and the problem they're solving and yada yada. And which is much better than all the events where you just go and you sit in the audience and you see like somebody with shiny lights and it's much better and much deeper in a way. And, which is also a lot of work from the team from Tech to facilitate that. But yeah, I think the quality of the data that's provided is much better. Yeah.
I really agree with you as well. There's an intimacy that you get at those events that's different from the big slush and other events. And there's also it's a different vibe, and it's a really good vibe. At least that's been my impression.
Maybe it's also very down to earth, and maybe that's more appealing to me. Like if there's a big crowd and like I'd rather stand in the corner somewhere, right? I'm not, I don't like that. But with tech tour events and I remember one day, I think it was in Ghent in Belgium, that the event was finished and I was doing one-on-ones and there was a whole line of entrepreneurs queued up because we wanted to have a one-on-one with each other, right? And like William and his team were like rolling up the like the flags and stuff, right? And I was still having one-on-ones together. It was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. I still I have warm memories I mean, I think that's a big difference, really.
Yeah, thank you. I really agree with you. And I think that fundamentally trust is what we need to be successful in this business. As an entrepreneur, you're working hard to really find the right entrepreneurs who you can trust and build a relationship with. And they are looking as well for someone who they can rely upon to execute a business model and business plan. And I think that's something that
the business marriage, Rick. It's a business marriage. If we invest, that process takes 3 months, 4 months, whatever. We invest days, and so it takes a little bit longer than if you do a B round or C round. Way more data to consume and to chew on and stuff. But for us, it's like we start a journey with an entrepreneur for the next 8 years, 10 years. I hope for maybe even longer. The longer the better. If we continue to grow, obviously. And so there's trust. You need to trust each other. You need to understand each other from day zero. And I think that these in-person meetings, and that's why I think it's super impressive what the Tech Tour team did during COVID months, years actually, 3 years, actually 3 years now, right? How they changed a in-person program to hybrid today, but in the deepest moments of the pandemic, it was real, and they made it work. And that is like difficult because again, like as an investor, but especially also as an entrepreneur, you would like to have that intimacy. You would like to understand who's on the other side of the Zoom call. I mean, Rick, you and I, years, right? So, I mean, we don't have to see each other in person to have all kinds of, like deep conversations. But if you have that first time, and basically you embark, how to say it, right? They embark on a journey towards, market leadership. That's what you hope with your investor on board, right? And your entrepreneur. You want to have that intimacy and think, and I think that Tech Tour, William and his team, they were and they are instrumental for that. So,
yeah. Thank you, Patrick. One final request. Would you like to say, happy birthday or congratulations with 25 years directly to William, to Sven, and to the Tech Tour team?
Yes, of course. William, amazing. 25 years. Thanks for your enthusiasm. Thanks for your energy, your ongoing energy. Thanks for the friendship. But also, I think on behalf of many, many investors, the things you've done for the Venture Club, things you are doing for all the entrepreneurs out there, trying to connect investors on one hand and the entrepreneurs on the other hand, and lay that foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also from a personal perspective, as I said earlier, in the beginning of my Newian career or start, I think Europe Unlimited and later on Tech Tour played a tremendous role in my development, and I want to thank you for that as well.